What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So it has been 45 days since the State of the Union address, and we watched the president talk about Social Security and Medicare, and you saw everyone in the chamber saying they don't want to cut Social Security and Medicare. And so today I want to show you a clip, and this clip, actually, I talked about this 2 weeks ago. So you guys need to make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'm giving you this information a couple of weeks before it's actually coming out. And there's this campaign going on in Congress right now where they want you to delay your retirement until full retirement age. So don't take it at 62, wait until you're 67. And so we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about the future of a Social Security increase and Social Security reform. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. Okay, so I want to show you, this is Yahoo Finance. We're going to show you this first, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the future when it comes to a Social Security increase or a Social Security reform.
Social Security benefits aren't always easy to understand, but a bipartisan group of lawmakers want to change all that. In a draft letter to the Social Security Administration, lawmakers write that evidence shows delaying a retiree's claim of benefits past the age of 62 is, quote, financially advantageous for most Americans, as it provides them with a greater monthly benefit for the remainder of their lives. As of right now, if you claim your benefits at age 62, born in 1960 or later, around $1,000 monthly benefit would be reduced 30% to $700, Shauna. That's a whopping $300 loss. And according to the Social Security Administration, 62 is still a common age for Americans to claim their benefits. But in 2018, 35% of men and 40% of women aged 62 began the program. One study has found retirees collectively lose $3.4 trillion because they claim Social Security at a, quote, financially suboptimal time that shakes out to a loss of $111,000, $100,000 plus per household. Lawmakers want to close this gap and encourage people to claim their benefits later. If you got all that, my friend.
That was a lot to digest
notes?
there. Yeah, the takeaway, you're leaving a heck of a lot of money on the table if you claim Social Security early. So let's talk about what these policymakers want to do to accomplish all this. Senators are proposing a new bill pushing for two changes. The first is for Americans to receive explainer paper statements starting at age 25. Now, these statements would help Americans understand their retirement options and get updates on where they stand. You would first get these statements every 5 years. The frequency of the statements would increase to once every 2 years at the age of 55. And then you get annual statements starting at the age of 60. The idea is that at that point, you would have had more time to prepare and educate yourself on the best option, so you won't be leaving that money on the table. So that's the first change that lawmakers want to make. The second change has to do with the language. If you claim benefits starting at 62 years old, it's currently referred to as, quote, early eligibility age. Now, lawmakers want to change that to minimum benefit age to better communicate that if you cash out starting at 62, you're getting the minimum monthly benefit. Full retirement age would change to standard benefit age. And delayed retirement credit would change to maximum benefit age. So really putting it in plain English.
Okay, so that's some of the information there. Now, I talked about this, like I said, 2 weeks ago. And in my opinion, I think the vast majority of people who are taking Social Security at 62, they know that they'll take a penalty if they do that, but they have to take Social Security for a variety of different reasons. And so this campaign that they have right now to push it off, to push people off, to wait until their full retirement age by changing the wording so people understand. I think people understand what they're getting into when they get to that point where they're taking Social Security retirement. And so I don't think this is really going to help in any way. Now, of course, the federal government is trying to make you wait because they don't have the money. They don't have the money. If you retire at 62, that means that you can collect Social Security for a longer period of time. And even though they're saying that you could face, what do they say, 3.4 trillion as far as everyone as a whole, I think 111,000 per household. That's what the penalty that you would see for taking it early. But the reality is you're still going to be collecting Social Security at 62. You can collect it for a longer period of time. And so in some circumstances, it does make sense to go ahead and collect at 62. So the federal government, they don't want that because that's more money that they have to divvy out when it comes to Social Security. Now, the way Social Security works, it's coming from the payroll tax as well as the trust fund. But what they're really concerned about right now is that trust fund. The trust fund is running out of money, and they say in 10 years, and I say they say because we don't have anything concrete. And so we'll have to see if they continue to move forward with this campaign of telling people to wait until their full retirement age, or trying to give them the information that they need, educate them so they'll wait for their full retirement age. Now, I want to talk a little bit about 45 days since the State of the Union address, and we still don't have anything on paper when it comes to Social Security reform or Social Security increase. And so we need to talk about this because there have been plans in the past that have been put forward. So we actually have one plan that's on paper. Senator Bernie Sanders' plan is on paper. That is the $250,000 or more you're going to start paying in to the payroll tax. So basically raise the cap when it comes to the payroll tax, and that would provide that $200 raise for Social Security. That's one plan that's actually on paper, and it's been on paper for a couple of years now, and it was just reintroduced this year. So we do have one. However, we don't see very much support. And so you don't have any Republicans right now that support Bernie Sanders' plan. So the Republicans and Democrats have come together, and they're negotiating this bipartisan plan to reform Social Security. Now, in this reform, because I did have some people ask me this, in this reform, there could be a raise when it comes to Social Security benefits. And I posted more details about this plan yesterday, but basically the way that it works is they want to borrow money, from the American people and put that money in investments and hope that if our economy is doing well, those investments will be able to allow people on Social Security to receive some type of increase. And so that's what we're looking at when it comes to their plan, at least part of their plan. And that's the thing. When we were talking about Senator Bernie Sanders, he actually has a plan on paper. This plan, this bipartisan group that's getting together and trying to put a plan together, they don't have anything on paper. This is all just talk. And so part of their plan is the investments, but we don't know what the rest of the plan is. Will they raise their full retirement age to 70? If they do, when does that take place? What else are they talking about when it comes to this plan? And right now you have Senator Cassidy, who is really kind of spearheading this, and he's the one that's out talking a lot about this is what they want to do. He wants to meet with the president. Right now, they have not met, and so he's upset because he hasn't met with the president. But like I said in the last video, they need to put something on paper. You need to know where you're starting from. You can't just say, well, this is what we want to do, and this is what we want to do, and not have anything on paper. And so this is something that we're going to have to continue to follow this story. But right now, you have this bipartisan group of senators trying to move forward with some type of Social Security reform and potentially a Social Security increase. And I say a potential increase because you're gambling when you invest in the stock market. So it can go up, it can go down. And so if it goes down, now you're going to be in a worse situation than where you were before. And if it goes up, then yeah, you'll be in a good situation because you'll be able to get an increase, which we don't even know what that would look like. But Senator Cassidy himself, he's the one that said there could potentially be more money for people on Social Security. So this is something that's not set in stone. We don't have anything on paper, so we don't really know exactly what he's talking about, but that's what he's saying at the present time. So 45 days in, how long will it take before we actually see this on paper? And we're going to continue to follow that. And I'll tell you every day if we see anything on paper. And once we do see something on paper, then that'll be a good thing, because at least that will give you a starting point. Just like when you go buy a car, you have to have a starting point. So you go in the lot, you look at the different cars, you see the price, but you negotiate it later. But you know what the price is. You know how they're itemizing everything. And in this situation, there's no price. They don't know what they're itemizing. So there's nothing on paper. Once you have something on paper, then you start the negotiating. And so I just wanted to mention that. And then I also want to pose this question. Do you think in 2023 we will see Social Security reform or a Social Security increase? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.